Hello there. Today's exercise is about hatching, and let's go ahead and then see the work document. It says like set your units to decimal, units, sorry, then decimal to decimal places should be enough. And then the second item is it says set your grid at 0.5 bal, and then set your snap at 0.25. Then the next item is going to be limits, as usually, just like it limits your working space or your view. Okay, and then let's create 3 layers: construction, objects, and center. Okay, so layers, doing the layer command. So we're creating first one, construction, and second one, object, and the third one, center. The colors are given here: construction cyan, center green. Construction cyan, center green, and object just white. Now you look at the diagram that you have here, and then you just simply count the number of grids that you have here. For instance, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 in this direction. So therefore you go ahead and then, like, so make sure that like you zoom into a full extent, and then you can count the number of grids that you have here. Okay, so that means I'm going to use the line command. I'm going to start from here, and that means in this direction I'm going to, because I already know my grid size, and then I'll go 1, I think, right? Because every grid is set to be 0.2. okay, then I'm going to move in this direction. How many? 2 more. And then in this direction 3 more. So 1 again, 3. Okay, and then this direction I'll go 2 grids. 2 grids means 1, right? Then like that. Okay, the best way to facilitate this work would be, I'm going to use mirror. I'm going to mirror this line, that line, this line, and that along temporarily. Stop that. Okay, let me see. So I moved that to that. Okay, then I'll use the line command and complete that. What else do I need to do? I need to have a line that runs from here to, okay, so line, then I'll have a line to this side, only 1 grid, or I can have this center line and then offset it to 1 grid. not at that point. From here to there. Then offset. So it seems the computer is running a little slow. By 0.5. 0.5 means 1 grid, right? Then, okay. So that's pretty much it, but the problem seems like I think this line has to be 1 unit closer. I can do that. It's not going to be a big deal. Like that. I'll do the same thing for this one. You know, sometimes like when you make a mistake, just take that opportunity as your learning opportunity. Okay. You press shift, press the 3 things, then you press this, and move it right there. See? Press shift, click, 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 click the middle one, move it like that. This line, you can shrink it. That's it. Then the next step is to hatch it. So the object is wide. I'm going to use this, has to be changed to center line. So I'm going to come to my layers and this center, the center. So I'm going to expand this. Center has to be a line type of center. So if I don't have a center line in the thing, then I'm going to come here and select center. Then my center line has to be changed to center. Then I'm taking back. So that has to be changed to center. And what else? Then it's just hatching. So the hatching patterns, the way you are given with, you will use NCI 31, 32, and 33. So you use the hatch command. You can type H and then press enter, and then you pick a central point. So first of all, you need to choose your hatching pattern, or sometimes you can go ahead and then like choose it, and then AutoCAD will give you the opportunity to choose. So NT31. So if you can see the patterns, which one is what from the Word file. So this is NC31. This is NT32. Okay. So 31, we'll be using 31 for this, and we'll be using 31 for this. We'll be using 32 for, sorry, it has to stay like that. Then you press enter, and then again you type hatch and then press enter, and then my Word file, this is 32. I think I'm missing a line. There's a line here, 2 grid points. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. You can delete it. It's fine. And then use offset. 2 means 1, distance of 1. This way. Okay, so hatch again, then this one, and then hatch again. I don't want to associate all of them to single one. Good. And then hatch again, I'm going to use NCI 32 for this guy, and then 32 for this guy, and then 33 for the other two. There you have it. But keep in mind the angle for ANSI 33 is 67.5 and NCI 32 is 90. So you will have to change the angles. Before I do that, I also need to change the layers. Okay. So I'm going to put them on construction layer. Then there is a function called edit or HE, press enter. If you click on one of them, so we need to change 31 and 32, right? I think 33 and 32. So the angle for 33 is 67.5. So angle, look for angle. This has to be 67.5. Then okay. Voila. For ANSI 32, that means this again. Edit, press enter. Select this guy and change the angle to 90. Okay. You do the same thing for this one as well. Or you click on it and change the angle here. Perfect. That's how you do the first one. Very straightforward. Not to worry much. Okay. Then the second exercise is going to be, so I already showed you how to do it. And for the second exercise, as you can see here, you know, every given information is given here. You need to create new layers, you know, for the slab has to be white, the text has to be blue, the brick section has to be white, concrete has to be white, you know, all those kind of layers it's asking you to create. So probably, you know, I have so many of them to create, so probably I'll have to have my drawing on the side like this. Then I'm going to have my AutoCAD a little smaller. Then I'm going to start the layer command. Then I have to create so many of them. So already I have a cyan color. I'm going to use the same drawing area, so therefore I'm going to leave some of the things. I think border, it's okay. I think we can create also border with the same color as cyan. A new layer called slab. Slab is white, text is blue, brick section is white. I'm just call it brick. Concrete is white too. White. Earth, that is white too. Hatch boundary, we might use it or we might not use it. Hatch boundary, that one is supposed to be red. Insulation green, sand white, wall white, all right. So you have all this information, and then of course you're going to use all those patterns using the different kind of layer that is given. Then let's go ahead and then do the drawing. So the drawing, as you can see here, the first thing that I personally would do the following. So I'm going to use, this drawing is a little bigger, so I'm going to pan this guy to this side, and all the dimensions are given like in feet and inches kind of stuff, so I'll stick with architectural units. I will make my life a little better. Then the first thing that I'm going to draw is the slab, the 11 by 9 kind of drawing. Okay, so I'll use line down 11 to this side 9. Okay, then you will know how much it has to go up. We'll come to that part later. And then I also know from here to here is going to be 5.5 right, inches. And then in this direction it is 1.5 inches, and the slab goes in this direction a little longer. This is just a continuous floor, part of a floor, so therefore you don't have to worry much about it. So the next thing that I may probably will draw is the brick. So the brick, if you read the instruction properly, then there's a brick. The way I'm going to do it is just I'll use the line command, and I'm going to draw one. Okay, I'm going to draw one. So the size of that is from here. It's like 2 point. If I try to increase this guy a little bigger so that you may probably be able to see it. This is like 2.75 by 3.5, right? So I'm going to use line this direction 2.75, in this direction 3.5. Okay, and then I mentioned in the text to use 3/8 of an inch as a joint. So how do I create that? I'm going to use a line, okay, or offset by 3/8 of an inch. That's the cool thing about AutoCAD when you put it on architectural. See, it accepts a fraction too. Then it's a joint. If you notice, like between two bricks, the concrete joint is usually it's an arc. So what I'm going to do is just like I'll be using the arc command. Pretty much I would know the center of the arc. So probably I don't know. I'll just simply use a 2-point option probably. I don't need a center, probably. Arc start in direction. Just simply randomly 3.3. I'm going to turn off the usually AutoCAD. Something like that. That's cool. I'm going to use similar approach, maybe start around here and like that. You see, once I create that, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to the fall. I'm going to go ahead and do the fall. I'm going to array this like about like 8 or 10 times. Okay, so array my bricks, rectangular, of course. Then yeah, this one will specify the distance, but I'm not worried about the distance. Number of columns is 1. In this direction, number of columns is going to be 8 or 9. You know, you can count it on the drawing. The distance, what you can do is you can just simply hold and bring in until they coincide. That's it. Perfect. Then once you do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this guy. There I am. See? Okay. Then once I do that, what am I going to do is I can draw a line in this direction. Probably the same size as this. Okay. Then the wall thickness is 3.5, so I'll use offset 3.5, this line, this direction, right? And then the thickness of the exterior sheathing is a 1/2 inch gypsum board from the interior, so offset by 0.5, this line, sorry, offset 0.5, this guy, not 5 inches, I want 0.5, offset 1/2, that's what it means, 1/2 inch, this one guy, this guy too. Okay. Then you know you can have like a line. Just simply I use a line just to cover this part. It shows a continuous to show it's a continuous kind of drawing. Just shows you to do some kind of zigzag. You can do that if you want to. Okay. Then what else is left? Then the thickness of this slab is 6 inches. You can go down to offset by 6. Okay. And then there's a 4 down. So you're going to go ahead and offset this line by 4. Which line? This line. See? Once you do that, then you draw a line that runs from here. Okay. To here. Okay. Then is the angle given here? It's not given. Just simply go with 45 degrees or something. It's okay. Then some work of trimming. Press enter and trim this and trim that. I'm going to leave this line for now, but I'll delete it later because I need it for okay. So I think you have everything like this, and then what is left? I don't think there's anything left except that just to increase a little bit of this, I'll just go alone and then draw a line right here. And then maybe you will want to draw this little thing. We usually call it a base plate in engineering. So what you can do is you can draw a line that runs from here to here and offset it by 1.5. That's the thickness of the base plate. Okay. Then you use a line command to draw this. Okay. Then the rest is going to be a matter of what do you call, just hatching this thing. Okay, so let me try to maximize this. Let me draw a line for this just to close it. All right, so something like that. Then after that, like, you go ahead and then, you know, hatch this with concrete. So you'll need to find the concrete one. The names are given. I think it says okay, what is the name of the concrete hatch? I need to have this guy a little up. AR concrete. So AR, there's AR sand, AR concrete, right? Okay, this is my concrete. Then that's my concrete, and there is flex for the insulation. Then go for flex, 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 flex. F. There I have it. Not for you, mister. Flex is for here. No, that's the problem. AR concrete. This kicked me out earlier. And for you. What else? Insulation Felix brick is NCI 31. Okay. Yeah, could have done a better job, but it's okay. Okay, can hatch it like that, or could have selected everything. What else? I need to hatch compacted sand. No, there's nothing. AR sand for compacted sand fill, I think. AR sand. Earth for earth, that means this region. So for the earth part, you will just be using hatch sand. AR sand. AR sand. There you go. And for the earth, I may probably need to have some kind of a line starting from somewhere around here, because I'm using pick the internal object thing. Looks like that. Okay, so I can extend this line if need be. Then I'll be using hatch again. I'll be using earth. We will change the properties, okay, when we change the layers. All right, so no worries about this. Now you look at the earth. It says like the scale has to be 9 inches and the angle has to be 45. So you will come here, scale has to be 9 because we are using, and then the angle has to be 45. There I have it. Okay, and then you look at the other one, concrete has to be 1/2 inch 0 angle. Okay, concrete 0 angle, but this one has to be 1/2 inch. What else? Insulation has to be 3 inches 45 degrees. Insulation 45 degrees, and this has to be 3 inches, right? Brick 6 inches 0 angle. Okay, six. Okay, so pretty much this is the complete version of it. So you can go ahead and then assign the different layers. So the layers are here. According to layers, concrete has to be on the concrete layer, and so on and so forth. You reduce now a little bit to this side, and I'm going to open the layer, and insulation has to be on insulation layer. Okay, then insulation was in insulation layer, Sorry, this was supposed to be insulation. Brick has to be on brick layer. What else? Earth has to be on earth layer. Select for earth. Sand has to be on sand layer. Okay. And then of course concrete has to be on concrete layer. Okay. Right. What else? Then border. I don't have any border around my diagram, so I'm not worried about the border. Then the slab has to be on slab layer. So that means this line, that line, this line, this line, this line, this line, that line, and that line has to be on the slab layer. Anyway, it's white, but it says insulation on the green, pretty much the white, and then yeah, that's how it is. But let's try with, there's a red border line for the border, but you know what I can do is, like, if you remember, like we created those lines as temporary ones, right? So what we can do is, you know, you can have a border line around it if you want to, but it's not really that necessary. But if you wish to, you can have that border line in there. And the rest is about like textures. You will be using the text layer. You know, the main purpose of this exercise is about hatching, and I showed you how to hatch it. Make sure that like you dimension it. You will be using a dimension layer for it, and then you will use the layer, the text layer for texting. So that completes the exercise. Then there's exercise number 3 that comes with it. Pretty much you follow the same procedure, the same way that I did the work, then that should be good. Thanks.